What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. This is Lone Wolf, and in this video, we're gonna talk about all Shadowlands. All right, all Shadowlands. Super excited right now. I just had a little issue with the stream and how getting it up. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully that doesn't come up anymore. All right. How you guys doing? You guys psyched for Shadowlands? Because definitely I know I am. I definitely know I'm excited. Alright, let me switch real quick. Perfect. See if this is playing. That's playing. Perfect. Alright, guys. So, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. Hello to everybody. Seems like I cannot see range. I mean, the chat. But that can be easily solved by going to the actual stream. Alright, there you go. What's going on, Boo Bear? Hunter's looking good? Ah, what's going on, Steven? Welcome, guys. Welcome. Oh, man, I'm so excited of what's to come in Shadowlands. Guarantee you that Hunters are going to be super viable next expansion. 100%. I can't even begin to tell you all the good changes that are coming for marksmanship when it comes to this stuff, all right? So, with that being said, let's get into this, all right? Let me switch up computers. Perfect. All right, so in order for me, just for warning, in order for me to check the chat, I have to go to my second computer because something is being funny with my connection. So just give me a few minutes to unload the information and then I'll check chat, all right? So keep that in mind. But here we go, guys. Hunter. We're going to talk about Hunter. We're going to talk about the abilities that you get, these new changes, and how they're going to affect the Hunter spec, the Hunter class in general. I'm mostly going to be talking about marksmanship because marksmanship is what I like, what I play. So let's do this, all right? I'm going to save you guys all the other classes because there's plenty of YouTube videos talking about said classes and specs. So feel free when we're done here to check that out. But for right now, let's dive deep into the Hunters, all right? So Masters of the Wilderness. Hunters draw on a variety of tools such as specialized ammunition and traps that alter the environment to their advantage. Those who master the strategy of chaining their abilities and coordinating opportune attacks with their bestial companions will unleash their full lethal potential. In general, we feel that the core Hunter class kit is well realized across all of their specializations. Realized, maybe. But executed, I don't think so. Yet each plays in a unique, fun way, which is true. As a result, Hunter's core damage rotations will remain familiar in Shadowlands, but several iconic abilities will return and many talents will be updated. Alright. Alright, let's go to the general changes. Before that, though, let me check on chat. I know you guys must be trying to write stuff. Made me switch. I'm now working on an MM Hunter. Really looking forward to the new expansion. My dude, how are you? What's up, Isaiah? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing great. I'm doing phenomenal now with all these changes, man. So excited for this. So basically, from just from this paragraph so far, we've taken away that they're gonna be familiar to how it is now. So we're probably gonna stay the same with how our focus works, with how our pets are being used. Hopefully they change how pets behave in the way that you can change their own specialization like it used to be. Like you have one pet, you want to change it to ferocity, you want to change it to cunning, etc., etc. That I would love. But from this, it seems like overall they're still going to be the same. So MM is still going to be that long range, bursty, kiter. Uh, survival most likely will be melee, for better or for worse. And Beast Mastery might be the same with how they're doing with their abilities and such. All right, so Hunter class and specialization changes. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Arcane Shot, Eyes of the Beast, Hunter's Mark, Kill Shot, Scare Beast, Tranquilizing Shot will be available for all hunters to use regardless of their active specialization. To prepare for that fight ahead, all hunters will have their stable size significantly increased to hold many companions, including the new creatures they discover and tame in the ethereal wilds of the Shadowlands. Wow. Wow. Oh, what is this? Let me check this out. Stephen Powers coming through, showing some love. Much appreciated, man. That helps substantially for the channel. Boo Bear and Hand Chamois looking hella good too, finally. We'll probably check into that after all this Hunter stuff, all right? Because I think you're right. I think you're right. All right, so. So what does this mean? Arcane Shot. Arcane Shot, great for survival. You are added an extra ability to use. Oh, never mind. I thought somebody wrote something. Arcane Shot can be used by survival, so they can kite a little better or deal damage from range. They can use Hunter's Mark. We can use Hunter's Mark. Kill Shot is back, which is interesting. Survival having Kill Shot because I think they're strong. Like, I don't think they necessarily need a Kill Shot, but hey, I wouldn't be surprised if Kill Shot becomes a melee version for survival. That's just an opinion. It's coming out my ass. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of just seeing what's going on. Scare Beast is awesome against druids. I don't remember if it works on a ship-shafted shaman, but definitely Beastmaster, stuff like that. Scare Beast, underrated because nobody really used it, but super, super important in the niche that it worked in, all right? Tranquilizing Shot. Wow, Tranquilizing Shot, I remember it being a Dispel Shot. It took away the rages. So great against warriors. Pretty cool. I really like the options, the utility that we're getting. One thing that is still in my mind is the specialized ammunition. Get you some, Lobo. Looking forward to it. Yeah, me too. Welcome, get you some. Such as specialized ammunition. And the reason I feel like this is super important and hopefully is realized is that marksmanship specifically really struggles with their ice traps. So having an ammunition that freezes the target, awesome. But that's just, you know, if it is a talent like it used to be where you can have like a flame arrow, an ice arrow, kind of sort of how our enchants work for range specs or whatever. So we'll see more into that once it comes out. This is all great. Obviously, stable size significantly increased. It's awesome for people who like to collect all types of beasts out in the world. All right, so let's start up with Beast Mastery and then Survival, and then end it with Marksman. All right, we gotta leave the best for last. So, Beast Mastery. For all you Beastmaster hunters out there. Beast Mastery's hunter strength comes from the bond with their companions, who will ruthlessly fight at their side and savagely tear apart their enemies. Okay, seems like they're about to buff pets somehow. Bloodshed is a new talent that Beast Mastery hunters can teach their companions, commanding their beast to tear into their target. The unfortunate quarry will bleed significantly and causing them to take more damage from their pet. Awesome. So it kind of behaves like Condensed Life Force, where you use it and it increases your damage. Or not yours, but the pet's. Which is good. great for burst moments, obviously, and for times where you're gonna use your Bestial Wrath and stuff like that. So cool. This is pretty good. An actual talent that buffs your pet, not just adds a companion or adds like a bleed or whatever. It actually buffs your pet. So awesome. Apart from Bestial Wrath, super awesome. Beastmaster Scent of Blood talent is being reimagined. This passive now activates when Bestial Wrath is used, granting 2 charges of Barbed Shot to bloody a target and empower their bonded beast to take down threats quickly. Okay, so more synergy between you and your pet. Awesome. Venomous Bite takes place of spitting cobra and comes with a twist. When Bestial Wrath ends, a cobra will come to aid the hunter in combat. The serpent's power will increase based on how many times they use Cobra Shot during Bestial Wrath. Cool. So that kind of reminds me of Shadow Priest, where the more they use abilities, they enhance their damage with their Void form. Death Knights, where the more they use abilities that give you more resource, allows you to use Breath of Sindragosa. So this is something, or kind of like Monk's Touch of Death, where you use Touch of Death, the more damage you do, the more it'll increase the serpent's power. So, or in the context that I was just using, increase the Mark for Death damage, or not Mark for Death, whatever it is, it's called Touch of Death. So that's good. I like the interactions that they have between the player and the pet. Obviously, it's Beast Mastery, so you do want to kind of be in the back doing your thing, but commanding your pets to do stuff, which is awesome. I like that. Let's go to survival, guys. I know you guys are. There's a lot in the forums where people are like, "Damn, do I can't stand survival in melee. I want range survival." But it is what it is. I don't think many people or enough people came through to change the developers' minds or Blizzard's minds, but here we are. So survival. To take down the horrors waiting for them in Shadowlands, survival hunters are refining their skills and improving their weapons and gadgets. Expect to see damage increases for Hydra's Bite, Butchery, Steel Trap, Tip of the Spear, and Flanking Strike, along with a reduction in the focus cost of Chakrams, all designed to help them best the beast they encounter in Death's realm. Ouch. So, and the reason I say ouch, it looks like it's just a buff to their abilities. Alright, but keep in mind, they have Arcane Shot, Eyes of the Beast, Hunter's Mark, Kill Shot, Scare Beast, and Tranquilizing Shot. Alright, so while they are staying the same, they have way more than enough utility to kite, because they can kite right now. I feel like survival hunters can kite already, but they can kite, they can do whatever, man. There's so much options, there's so many buttons, man. It feels so good to be back into, all right, it's not just about I'm gonna stun this guy, blow him up. Now it's I'm gonna stun this guy, control this guy, tranquilize this guy. It just adds more depth into the gameplay, more strategy, and which is fun, at least in my opinion. All right, let's get to the marksman time, guys. Whew. I gotta close this. I'm so nervous, man, because marksman. What would I love for marksman? Obviously, just a better way to deal damage for when somebody's trying to escape. Maybe a stun, not necessarily a stun, but some type of route. Baseline where they're not running away from you constantly. So we'll see. MM and BM looking nice. Chimera shot back. Oh, I think you're spoiling it, bro. Master Sharpshooters can empower Kill Shot with Deadeye. A new talent that lets hunters store 2 charges of Kill Shot. Oh, Ooh, it also makes aim shot recharge faster for you. Bro, I literally wrote this in the forums. I wanted this in the forums. When you cast kill shot, it increases your cast of aim shot. Wow. It's going to be so good having kill shot back and not have to worry about rapid fire. Oh my god. J-Man, kill shot is back. Man, that's the stuff. That's what I'm talking about. J-Man hunters need more CC. No, I mean, I want Chimera shot back as MM. Oh, I get it. Wow. That's huge. We have the kill potential, and Marksman is going to be the best use of kill shot. Beast Mastery too, but Marksman, if the Mastery stays true, your kill shot is part of your shot. So you're going to do dumb damage, just like we did back in the day with kill shot. I'm going to have 2 charges? That's overpowered, yo. Binding Shackles is a new passive talent that causes enemies rooted by their baseline binding shot to deal less damage to the hunter for a short time. Ah! Say word. Say word. We have binding shot. I just mentioned how we wanted a root. I was saving all this because I didn't want to really look into it. But we have a root now. So I can... Where is my talent? Give me my talents. So I can have post haste and binding shot. Guys, this is new territory, all right? Not even new territory. This is territory to be viable again. Not only be viable, but go through countless tuning in Shadowlands, because our damage, just imagine if they don't take away what we have now. We have that double tap. We got the rapid fire. We got the true shots. We got kill shot. That's just insane. That's just insane. It's insane. Binding shot. Oh, man. Volley is a new talent that enables the marksman hunter to rain arrows down on a targeted area over a short period of time. Okay, so like back in the day, I wonder if it's channeled like it used to be. It also empowers the hunter with trick shots buff, causing all their aim shot and rapid abilities to ricochet and hit up to 5 additional targets. Oh. Awesome. So basically, if this is a talent and it looks like it's not casted like it used to be, it means that we will be able to not have to use multi-shot to activate trick shots. So you're basically just aim shot, and while you volley, aim shot bounces, rapid fire bounces, aim shot bounces, true shot, and you don't have to worry about having to multi-shot. Now, I don't know how will that impact our aim shot charges or how rapid fire's cooldown. You know how when both your aim shot charges and rapid fire is on cooldown, you only have multi-shot. I wonder if that's gonna still be at play. But that's crazy nice, man, especially for that ultra burst where you just bouncing aim shots, bouncing rapid fires like crazy. That's fun. Sniper shot baseline? I doubt it, J-Man. Having a root, Stephen Powers having a root would be amazing with post haste. Oh my god, that's what I'm talking about, man. How OP does that even sound? How OP does that even sound? That I can get away from any root, any slowing effects, and be able to binding shot at the same time. Like, that should have been in this expansion. I don't know why was that hard. We used to have it back in the day, and binding shot used to be a stun. That is something that I feel like hunters, marksmanship should get as a PvP talent, where binding shot stuns the target. You don't really necessarily need it in PvE, but in PvP, I can see how marksman may need one. But since we have binding shot on baseline now, I don't think it's a need. I don't think it's a need to be stunned. But holy shit, it's still a plus. It's still a plus, guys. It's still a plus, all right? So we have new abilities. We have binding shot as baseline. We got new talents. Uh, things seems to be fine. It didn't say things that are being taken away, and I don't think they're going to because of the what do you call it? The PTSD we've gotten from the unpruning. But so far, if everything stays how it is right now, with the abilities, the cooldowns, the charges, and everything, with all this added, marksmanship is gonna be a force to be reckoned with, as they should, because they always been a fun class and a powerful spec. So, before I get into Shami stuff, I want to look at what the abilities are for the Covenants and how it would impact hunters as well. All right, you guys down with that? So, which spec is the best hunter so far? J-Man, I can't really tell you because we haven't done testing and all that stuff and how the rotation is. But from how it looks like, from what it looks like, Beast Mastery is getting way more beast stuff, so you can control your beast a little bit more intricately, which is fun. And Beast Mastery, it's not that it's not fun, it's just a dull rotation. So these things up here might help. Survival is staying the same except for those new extra abilities. So in my opinion, marksmanship has gotten the biggest changes, and it might be the better spec comes Shadowlands. Rakataz, ew, the Shami No More Maelstrom almost makes me sad and want to start playing again. Oh my god, getting spoils. Rakataz, we'll come into that as soon as I finish with the Covenant stuff, alright? I can't wait to read the Shami stuff though, because from the last time I played my Shami, I think I went up in like an hour or two. I got up to almost 400 item level, and like it's so different. It's so much better. All right, so let's look at the Covenant abilities. Obviously, we all know what the Covenants are. Just a brief overview. I'm gonna let you guys know that Covenants is basically the new feature coming in Shadowlands. Not necessarily a feature, but you pick a faction, you go with them, and you unlock some abilities on the way, all right? So when you pick a Covenant in Shadowlands, you automatically get a signature ability. Hold on, Boo Bear. I'll read your stuff in a second. So let's go through them, all right? The Kyrian. Summon Steward. Call your Steward to bring you a file of Serenity that can be consumed to restore some of your health and remove all curse, disease, poison, and bleed effects. Your Steward additionally offers access to a selection of useful amenities, each once per day. Okay, so when I read this, and I'm in my marksmanship hunter mindset, this will probably be the arena Covenant, all right? Most specifically in 2v2s, and where your healer doesn't necessarily can remove whatever one of these, all right? That's just an opinion. I don't think that I'm gonna need this in PvE that much, because we have our healers, and giving you a little bit of health just works so much more in arenas, because if you're out in the world, all you got to do is feign death and then sit down and eat, use exhilaration or whatever. So I don't necessarily think this is going to be any use other than niche situations, all right? And one of the niches, in my opinion, is going to be arenas, all right? Let's go into Venthyr. Door of Shadows. This is the signature ability for Venthyr. Went through the shadows, appearing at the targeted location. All right, so this may work in arenas, and it may work in BGs. I don't think it's super useful in PvE unless you're doing something very specific that you need to relocate in such a, in a scenario, in a situation. All right. But I can see this being awesome in BGs. Uh, in arenas, maybe. I can say maybe because it says targeted location. So it's going to be a little reticle that comes out. You aim it somewhere, and wherever you click on it, you go and port to. So kind of like Shadow Step without having to have a targeted ally or enemy. Cool. Cool. Can't say that it's not that bad. I like it. There's a build for survival. You use a bow and you make your poison and bombs do a lot of damage. You won't have the melee attack. Oh shit, I didn't know that. Not the best, but it's fun for sure. SVN AoE, just saying. Looks like I'll be playing Hunter as my main next expansion too. I'm definitely gonna be playing Hunter, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Fleshcraft. This is the Necrolord signature ability, guys. Form a shield of flesh and bone that prevents damage equal to a portion of your maximum health. Standing near the corpse of a defeated enemy when the ability is cast will create a larger shield. Alright, so when I read this, standing near a corpse means you killed somebody or an enemy. So I don't necessarily think that this is going to be good in arenas. Definitely, if you want to be a force to be reckoned with, an unkillable force to be reckoned with, it'll be okay in BGs. But I think we can leave this for our PvP trinkets. I think this is a PvP trinket, to be honest. Kind of like a overpowered PvP trinket that increases your health, or once you go below 35%, you get a shield or whatever it may have you. So I don't necessarily think that this is going to be good in both PvE or PvP unless you're pushing super high keys. But I guess once we find out more of it and how to use it, we can see. But right now, it's not something I'm going to be looking into. All right, Night Fae. This is the signature ability for Night Fae. Soul Shape. Turn into a Vulpin. Increasing movement speed. Okay, so you turn into a Vulpin and you just move faster. You may reactivate Soul Shape to teleport a short distance forward. Additional cosmetic forms can be earned and collected through a variety of gameplay. While all in the world, this effect has a short duration before it wears off, but lasts indefinitely while in a rest area. Okay, so when I read this tooltip, guys, this immediately reminds me of doing world quests, going in and out from places that you visit often. It may be useful in BGs. It definitely could be useful in PvE, but the only use I think of is if you need the blink or if you need an increase in movement speed in an encounter. But for marksmanship hunters, we have a few ways to increase our movement speed. And we have our, not necessarily a blink, but we definitely have our disengage. Not that disengage is going to replace something like an ability or something that you can move fast and then blink after. Cool nonetheless. I can't wait to see what people are going to be running around with, what kind of cosmetic forms they're going to be using. That's going to be pretty fun to see and try out. Maybe it might find its use in PvP, but I can't really say right now. All right. So far, my two favorites are these as a marksmanship hunter. All right. Which is cool. I like it. Now let's look at the class abilities you get for joining a one of the covenants. All right. So right here, this is a warrior, and he shot down this massive spear. Oh man, if this is how all these covenant abilities are gonna look like, me gusta. Ew, it's matazo. Yo, I hope you will get beat. Oh, beta. I thought you said beat. Like, oh my god, I don't want to get beat, bro. And this is the priest one. Pretty cool. So let's look at the abilities, guys. All right. Oh man, I gotta do a little twist here. Yeah, because these right here is gonna be the make it or break it for us hunters. Getting bind baseline. Gray Fox. It's serious. Lord Mataso is here. What's up, King? Yeah, man, Mataso, the dude. All right, so as a hunter, if you are a Curian, you get resonating arrow. Fire a resonating arrow to the target location and feel the area of echoing anima. The effect causes your attacks to ignore line of sight to enemies in the area, and you have an increased critical strike against them. Blue! Bro, did you guys hear what I said? Holy crap. What is the main issue has in arenas right now? What is the number one issue that has in arenas right now? Being line of sighted. Being line of sighted. If a person cannot be line of sight from us, we're gonna obliterate, because our damage is serious. Resonating arrow, J-Man, is basically, say I'm a marksmanship hunter. This is a pillar, and this is your target. I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know if this arrow just gets shot to the target because you're out of line, or you have to shoot it where the target is first, and then you'll be able to access the line of sight. But basically, you can shoot somebody on the other side of the pillar full maximum and have a bonus crit effect. So I think Resonating Arrow will be a huge contender for arenas only for a marksmanship hunter, depending on the cooldown. Because, like I said, our biggest issue is line of sights. That's it. We have to, if somebody, say a rogue, a druid, a monk, all that stuff that can go behind a pillar, heal, re-stealth, whatever may have you, that's our biggest issue. And if we can hit them while they're trying to get out of line of sight and still unleash our burst or our aim shots or whatever it is, that's a huge game changer. All right, and this is specific for marksmanship. For survival, I don't think this is going to be something for survival or beast mastery. I don't think this is going to be such a huge problem, because you can always move, you can always just go in and out. But as marksmanship in arenas, I think this might be a huge contender. Flayed shot. Now, if you go with the Venther, right? Venther. You get access to Flayed Shot after you grow whatever it is, reputation, or you do a number of quests, war campaign stuff, where you just continue the storyline. You unlock this. Before I read the Flayed Shot, let me see what's going on. Oh my god, so many buttons to click now, it's good. Right, curse the bullet, curve, rapid fire shots. It should look like this from movie. Curve the arrow. Oh yeah, what's that movie where the bullet just curves? Where they used to shoot the bullet like this, and it has Angelina Jolie. That's funny as hell. All right, so Flayed Shot. Fire a shot at your enemy, causing them to bleed shadow damage over a period of time. Each time Flayed Shot deals damage, you have a chance to gain Flayer's Mark, causing your next kill shot to be usable on any target regardless of the current health. Once again, guys, holy crap. Holy crap. This Flayed Shot is going to be definitely a BG, arena, and PvE ability. 100%. Single target, all that good stuff. So basically, it works like It works. It works like lock and load. The only difference is it's not your auto shots. It is the bleed effect on the target that causes the proc to happen, which is great because if you shoot it to them and they're somewhere where they can't reach you and you get the proc, you still are able to use the causing your next hit to be used on any target. So it just procs. You're able to use it and you don't have to wait to continue hitting the target like lock and load where your auto shots activates it. So you put it on, they run away, they're still good, it's still ticking, boom, you're fighting somebody else, kill shot, blah, in their face. I cannot wait. Oh! Sorry, people are staring at me like, what the hell's wrong with him? He got the virus. Yo. Hunters. Oh, man. Wanted. I don't think the secondary picks are locked into covenants. Are these definitely changes? Pretty sure you can pick any of the three no matter what covenant you choose. I think right now you can't. You just stick to what you choose, and there will be a hard way to change it. And now, Rakataz, the way it works is, and you can look it up here in these changes. The way it works is you pick a covenant and you automatically get a signature ability. So the abilities that we just talked before, the class abilities, you automatically get it. You can also try it before you pick a covenant. But the only way you can get one of these class abilities is if you continue to unlock their progress, whatever it may have you. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know if it's through reputation, if it's through quests, if it's time gated. I'm not sure. But once you gain enough of their reputation, you unlock a class ability. And they are tied to the covenant. You cannot switch. So from what I've read, if something came up recently, I'm not sure, but from what I've read so far, these are just covenant exclusive. Like you cannot interchange. All right, but if Rakataz, if you have that link or whatever, let me know, man. That way I can give correct information. It is pretty dumb, but we'll get into that in a little bit after we talk about this, all right? And after we talk about Shaman real quick. All right, so if you're with the Necrolord, the signature ability was that Absorb. Throw a deadly chakram at your current target, which will rapidly deal additional shadow damage. Each time the chakram damages a different target, its damage is increased, and you generate additional focus. 100% a PvE talent, maybe a BG if you want to go that way. And you're say you love Mythic Pluses, this is a great Mythic Plus ability. Plus you get the shield. I would assume that this is gonna be that PvE thing. All right. If the chakram slows the target down, then I can see it being more useful. Just like how we used to have that one chakram, that when you use it, it deals damage to everybody and it slows the targets. I think that's how it used to work. But this right here is cool. It's cool. PvE all the way. And then the Fele, or whatever the hell called, the Knife Fae. Their Knife Fae is a work in progress. Hopefully it's something awesome. While these are cool addition for at least marksmanship hunters, I don't necessarily think that Resonating Arrow is going to cause you to, I only want Resonating Arrow. If you're an arena head and you love just arenas, trust me, if you're thinking about how we are now and how there's not going to be that much changes, this in arenas is going to be a game changer depending on how long the cooldown is. Game changer. Okay, yeah, I agree, Mataso. Let's hope not. Going Flayed Shot all the way, depending on CD. I know what it be. Will you be putting out more the videos of you playing with the electronic music? Yes, Stephen Powers. Your lock will proc 100% for 1 minute. Drew ass, Shadowlands changes will get me to play MM again. Ah, hell yeah. That's a hell yeah. So we're gonna see what the Night Fate brings in the in once they start releasing that stuff, and we compare it all. Again, just an overview. I feel like the the Kyrian is gonna be 100% the arena. I mean, remember you get to, especially with bleeds, you get purged from all these, and you get some health. Plus, you get access to an ability. This may work too in PvE because your critical strike chance is increased when they're inside that thingy majig. So we'll see what the Night Fate brings. So far, right now, Flayed Shot will probably be me my favorite, and then Resonating Arrow for arenas. But I can't say that because you cannot switch. But we'll get more into that a little later. All right. Let's go real quick through Shaman because I'm gonna have enhancement be my. I decided I'm gonna have enhancement be my alt, and I will be making enhancement videos as well on top of my marksmanship hunter videos. But it's gonna be a lot different flavor. I'm not gonna be pushing Shaman like I do marksmanship. All right, guys. So it's not like my whole channel is gonna change. It's not like everything. My streams are gonna be no. It basically is. When I get bored of MM or I want a break or something, I'll play my Shaman, push for whatever, and make cool videos with different music. All right, because I feel like Shamans are more badass in the way they just come in and lay bricks on your face. I think they're more of a hard beat, more more like rock, hip hop. Reggaeton, anything with that beat, like that dark beat, I think Shaman really, really show it. So let's just talk about enhancement shamans real quick before we talk about the next thing I want to talk about after the shaman stuff is how we're gonna get all this stuff, and maybe they're gonna change the way it is later down the patch on how you are able to switch covenant abilities and stuff. But for right now, it seems like they're not going to. But we'll get into that in a minute. Steven, no doubt, they're my favorite. Make sure to check out the last arena monster. It was dope. Yeah, man, it was pretty good. Rakataz, I mean, I liked the I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be a critic of my own video. I really liked the video because it was well put together and it feels good, and the action and the music really go together. But I feel like the gameplay, I feel like I make a lot of mistakes. The gameplay on that video wasn't my best. But again, I wanted to put a video out and it felt great. It felt great making that video. So I hope you guys really enjoy it for what it is. All right, so let's see my thoughts. But you know what, guys? I don't want to be optimistic. I think we will get, again, our characters bind to system, which are bind to other system. And man, will be only works when you get the right now. It's true. And we will complain a lot. We need to rise against the system, Matazo, as always. Yo, no, you're right. You know, there's always that catch. I'm just super hyped. I'm super hyped at all the things that they're giving to us and how early all this information is coming out. Usually, it happens every week or so, but right now it's just full in your face. So I'm excited about that. I definitely like the transparency and their vision. They're listening. So I applaud them for that because BFA was really, really a letdown. All right, so enhancement. As with element, let's look at the overall general changes. In Shadowlands, Chain Heal, Chain Lightning, Healing Stream, Flame Tongue, Flame Shock, Frost Shock, and Lightning Shield will be available for all Shaman to use regardless of their specialization. Good. Searing Tunnel also returns as an ability for all Shamans to use, which bombards nearby. All right, cool. More buttons to press. More buttons to press. Not too bad. As with Elemental, the Maelstrom Source, Resource, and Maelstrom Bar have been removed for Enhancement Shaman. Okay, interesting. And the reason I say interesting is that Maelstrom, I honestly liked having the stacks. I think there was a time where Maelstrom, you get like a Maelstrom stack. and once you get 5, you get to use it. You get to use like an instant proc of whatever. I think that's cool. I mean, in reality, all this is just a bar that shows you how many times you can heal instantly. So if they make it where Maelstrom also decreases your Hex and make Hex instant, that'll be crazy. Enhancement will return to a specialization based on managing a number of cooldown abilities with high points built around repeat cast of Storm Strike, which I love. In Shadowlands, Enhancement Shaman who claim certain abilities in combat will see their efforts rewarded when the time is right. Okay, because Shaman is interesting in the way that they are a melee kiter, almost like survival. So with enhancement, the whole thing is to set yourself up, purge, slow down, put your flame tongue, put a bunch of buffs up or whatever, and then once you're ready, you can go in and just unload your storm strikes. And when you need to heal, you need to kite again. You need to kite them. So that's interesting. I like that. I'm glad that they're keeping it that way. In Shadowlands, enhancement. Oh, I already read that. Maelstrom weapon returns, giving each attack a chance to grant a stack of a buff that can be used to make your next healing or damage dealing spell instant. Flame Tongue weapon and Wind Fury weapon can once again be applied. So what I think is this might do is your lightning bolt as an enhancement might hit harder. Your chain lightning might hit harder. Obviously because it hits like a wet noodle. And we still have that ability. So much so that they used a talent to increase your lightning bolt damage. Which made no sense to me. Like, why even have lightning bolt? To keep up rogue out of stealth or something. I don't know. Flame Tongue weapon and Wind Fury weapon can once again be applied to enhancement shaman's weapons, imbuing them with the power of elements to suit the situation I need. Okay. So basically we're going to have one Maelstrom enchant or whatever buff and one Wind Fury. And whenever we need some extra spell power, we will put on the Flame Tongue weapon, just like it used to be, which is cool. Let's see. Let's continue. The passive provided by Hailstorm, which is a talent, I believe, for enhancement, has been redesigned so that it resets the cooldown of Flame Shock and Frost Shock when a Shaman uses Storm Strike. Awesome. Okay. Searing Assault metamorphoses into a powerful fire attack, striking the foe for significant fire damage and causing their Searing Totem to cast incredibly fast. It also triggers Flame Shock to rapidly dish out his damage. Wow. So I think Searing Assault might be a good PvP talent, guys. Wow. Awesome. I like that. I like that a lot. So it's not just Storm Strike. You're not going in for that Storm Strike. You're about to hit him with that Searing Assault as well and have all your your lightning attacks and your flame attacks do crazy stuff, which is cool. I love that because you're an enhancement shaman. You're about enhancing your weapons with elemental power. So Overcharge now generates 5 stacks of Maelstrom weapon instantly and another stack every second for a short duration. Okay, so that looks like it's a main cooldown. So if you don't have any stacks, but you need like a real quick heal or something, then boom, Stormkeeper will make your next. So we have Stormkeeper as enhancement. Will make your next 2 lightning bolt or chain lightning spells instant and deal bonus damage. So we will be a both melee and range spec, which is cool. I like it. It also benefits from Maelstrom weapon, lowering Stormkeeper's cast time, so the enhancement shaman can chain powerful abilities together to pummel down foes quickly. Awesome. So it's not all waiting for your storm strikes. Elemental Blast. Oh my god, Elemental Blast is now a talent option for enhancement shaman, giving this melee focus spec access to a powerful spell to destroy foes from a distance. Wow, I remember this shit. This was awesome. Especially when your Maelstrom was maxed. You throw that huge explosive, it's just this massive freaking spell that hits somebody for 100k or something like that. So cool, guys. I'm so glad that I'm sticking with enhancement. Something else that I saw was Frost Death Knights are able to use a two-hander on top of their two one-handers. Warlocks don't know much about. Warriors are getting little changes here and there. Actually, I think warriors are getting the most spells to use in between specs. So I think Shadowlands is going to be a great expansion, man. I mean, honestly, to be frank, I would have thought WoD would have been a better expansion than BFA if WoD came out next. I thought BFA had the slowest ramp up. We had over a year of nothing, and then finally, once 8.3 came out, the corruptions, the essences, all the systems, like Matazo say, really made the specs more fun to play. And we waited over a year, guys. Like, we've been paying monthly over and over for crap content, in my opinion. I mean, other than raids, I think the raids were awesome. Holy crap. That is going to be huge, huge. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about all these changes, man? Any other specs that you guys excited for? We found out something new. Hopefully the Rona changed their minds. Yeah, everything's like it's going to be spec locked bad. Yeah, it's like they're giving you a lot of options right now, but they will not work great. Samples mages now will got all schools of magic, but if you fire and cast arcane, it will suck. Wind Fury on weapons again. Let's go. Yeah. I hope enhance be good. I miss playing threes with enhance. I wanted two-handed enhance again. That would have been great, Gray Fox. That would have actually been pretty fun. Seeing them Wind Fury procs come out and just melt people. LA was one of my mains. These changes almost made me want to resub. Warriors got hooked up for sure. Yeah, I believe it. I'm excited for sub rogues again. Hello from Finland. What's going on, old reptile? Welcome to the channel, man. It's a new face. I don't remember reading your name, man. Good to see you, man. Welcome. Let's see what rogues are. My main used to be priest, but I can't even care about priest anymore. Specifically shadow. Rogue. Let's see what general. The three rogues are. They all get the poisons and shiv, pickpocket, uncover new ingredients. There you go. That's a little bit of flavor. This is what we need, guys. Pickpocket will frequently uncover new ingredients that can be mixed into their crimson vial, augmented its power the next time. How is that not cool? Yes, you have to work for it. You have to go out there and pickpocket. But how is that not cool that you have that? You can enhance that just by using pickpocket, which we've had for such a long time, or at least rogues have. Make hands great again, mega. I'm sticking to my Druid Firo, and I will switch from Mage to Hunter. Yeah, Firo looks fun, man. Honestly, if I didn't pick Enhancement Shaman, I would have gone Firo. Because Firo is just fun to play. I'm looking for fun. I'm looking for things that keep me into the game. And in my opinion, the classes that I liked has been Marksmanship Hunters, Enhancement Shamans, Firo Druids. If Rep Paladins can stay with wings on 24/7, I do like Arms Warriors. I like how they feel. But obviously they're just a little squishy and BGs without a healer. But yeah, man. I mean, before then, if we look at my characters and stuff, I had one of every class. I played it all. I had my Alterac, my Alliance server. This is back in the day. I maxed out all because they were fun. All these specs were fun in what was it after Cataclysm? Mop, yeah. All the specs were fun. Like I was able to do it. So it's pretty cool and interesting that we're getting so much back in Shadowlands. Thank you guys. Thank you, Blizzard, for listening and understanding that we were in such a bad state. I honestly feel like if Shadowlands doesn't come through and show a lot of love and show a lot of good innovation and smart organic plays, that World of Warcraft was gonna go down. But this is great news and great to look forward to. All right. Now all we need to do is, if we get a beta, whoever it is, if it's me, if it's Mataso, if it's Boo Bear, J-Man, Gray Fox, it doesn't matter. Rakataz, if any of us get beta, we have to do each other the, I don't want to say the favor, but definitely give the what is it called? It's coming out of my, I have it at the tip of my tongue. Give the feedback that Blizzard needs to change things that we as the player base, because we pay Blizzard on a monthly basis. So enough of us need to speak up and, hey, I don't like this, I don't like this, and I don't like that, because we did that in BFA and it didn't work, at least in the beginning. But this time around, it seems like things might change around, and I'm looking forward to it. Whatever it is, I'm looking forward to it. All right? All right, so let's start talking about the Covenant. So the one thing that, and we definitely need PvP server again and not this war mode crap, sure. But in my opinion, I feel like the war mode is exactly the same as just having a server. It's just, you don't have to be in a completely different server or switch out, log off, and stuff like that. But I hear you. I just think all the bonuses and stuff like that. Because imagine me, a horde. I'm paying the same amount as somebody in the alliance, but the person in the alliance is getting more. I don't know if that makes sense. But, so, the one issue that I'm having so far when reading all these changes and understanding what's going on, just like I said, the Kyrian signature ability is great for arenas, in my opinion. The Venthyr signature ability is good for general purpose. But if you want to have fun in BGs, this might be good. This is great for, in my opinion, Mythic Plus. And Soul Shape is good for if you're doing world quests. If you're just out there just going from area to area, if you do a lot of crafting and stuff in the rest areas, this allows you to do it much faster. So there comes the dilemma. Not only those, but you have to get deep into the Covenant to unlock this. I don't know how deep, but it's not like as soon as you join them. All right. So we're stuck with one Covenant, and if not, we have to do the whole Covenant again. What's going on, Darklight? Welcome, bud. So, being that my Marksmanship Hunter is my main, and I do everything with him, I don't necessarily find it comforting that I can use this ability in one thing. Me being somebody who I like to choose the best build for the content that I'm in. I think it hurts. It hurts. So what can we give Blizzard? Right now I play too many tunes and classes and it becomes too much grind to keep up with every class. Yes. That's why I don't do it. But I'm starting to, just because of the essence changes and stuff, which is awesome. Made it more alt friendly. Especially that I work 10, 11 hours a day. I hear you, bud. I hear you. So things that I would change. or how I would make this work if I was Blizzard. All right, there's a few different ways. The first and foremost way I feel like we can are able to switch between these would be if, say, I joined the Covenant, but yet down the line I want to join the other Covenant, because there's another thing that people don't realize. You know how Alliance had their own storyline in BFA, and the Horde had their own storyline as well. Each Covenant has its own storyline. So I guarantee you that even if these abilities weren't bound to these Covenants, I guarantee you that just for the storyline itself and the achievements and whatever you get from doing these storylines, that we will go through them. We will go through every single Covenant. I 100% guarantee that maybe they even say, hey, in order to get the flying, you have to do all the Covenant and stuff like that. Stuff like that. If it's that hardcore, I'm gonna have an issue with it. But it's a possibility, right? Demon Hunter, yeah, man, do it. Do it. Demon Hunters, they look fun, and they had a bunch of different changes too that make them a little bit more fun as well. So, like I was saying, we will go through every single Covenant. I can't even deny that, especially if I want to try out all these abilities, right? So I say that if you go through every single Covenant and you earn their achievements or their reputation or whatever may have you, then you unlock the ability to switch between abilities. All right? Maybe not so much switch between, I don't know, but have an option where you can switch more freely with less punishing. All right? If I just did all the covenant stuff, why should I be punished for wanting to switch, especially in a game like this where there's so many different facets of World of Warcraft? Why am I going to be punished for wanting to switch if I just did all the Covenants, unlocked everything, and I want to do Mythic Plus today rather than arenas? All right. Okay, now I can play DH on Xbox controller. Oh, my man, J-Man, I used to be a main DH. I'm going to stick to mainly Shaman, Druid, Hunter. Oh, my God, Darklight, you're going to make like half the classes. Play whatever you have fun. That's exactly my point. Play whatever you have fun with, even if it's every single spec. Get you some, the itch is real. I just think there's... let me switch computers real quick. I just think that it looks dope, but I'll forever love the Hunter class. I feel you. What if you need Exalted with all the Covenants for flying? Grey Fox. I mean, I don't think that's a possibility, but that's crazy to think, you know? No, please make flying baseline too far from everyone. That Rep Brian ain't fun. I know. So with that out the way, right? I don't want to be punished, but obviously if there's going to be some type of punishment, I want the punishment to be there is a 1-day cooldown in order to switch a Covenant ability or whatever. That to me is fair. Why? Why to me is it fair? Now, if you're a player who plays every single day, various things within that day, then it might be a sucky change. But the way I play is, today I'm going to do Mythic Plus. Tomorrow I'm going to do arenas. The day after that I'm going to do raids. After that I'm going to do whatever. That's how I play. So with that said, that kind of work, but that's more of a personal thing. Maybe some type of cooldown, a time gated cooldown where you can't switch freely like talents and stuff. But why? And then imagine if 9.3 comes out and they just say, hey, you guys can just change whenever you guys want. It defeats the purpose. It defeats the purpose. Just like when the unpruning happened, when they pruned so many abilities from specs and stuff, now in Shadowlands we're getting the same exact abilities back with a little flavor. You know what I'm saying? So we waited all these years just to get the same abilities. That's the problem I'm having. We know that this is going to be an issue. We know this is going to be an issue. I hope and pray that they come to their senses and not punish their players for wanting to switch covenants. All right. So I'll leave that at that. And let's log on. Hold on, let me use the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right, so now that we went through every single thing for hunters, I'm curious about the other specs now. I'm very curious about the other specs. I'm not going to read through it like I did the hunter stuff, but I'm going to go really quickly through it. Okay, so every single Death Knight is going to have Death and Decay and Anti-Magic Zone, which is cool. Okay, they can turn into Lishborn. Which is good. I guess they're going to be weak to priests, which makes sense. I mean, it's a Death Knight versus a priest. Priest should have ways to deal with that. Raise Dead. Okay, so now Frost and Blood is going to be able to raise dead. And you will be able to sacrifice the pet to heal if that's the same. Yeah, sacrifice, get their health, and deal damage. Oh, so they're merging Explode, Corpse, I remember what it was called, and Sacrifice together into one. All right, cool. Awesome. But just remember that this is just another way for them to heal. Blood at home. Blood tap, okay. I don't know why they took that out to begin with. Room tap, awesome. This makes me feel like BC all over again. Oh, this is new. Relish in blood will significantly heal these bloody bruises for each active blood shield charge. Cool. This is the cool part for Death Knights, guys. You can choose one-handed weapons or one one-handed weapon. Back to the glory days of PvP with a two-handed Frost. They should have done, since they did this, they should have done monks. Now, they were able to use the spears and enhancement shaman, where they used to be able to use them big two-handers too. They should have just done that. There's a new talent that has the runic power of abilities for a moderate amount of time, giving the Death Knight the vigor to strike down all. Wow, so they're going to be casting a lot of abilities. Good. Good. I like that. While all Death Knights, summon Gargoyles back. Cool. Again, I think this is another. I remember Priest had a ability that you can shackle Gargoyles. I don't know if it was that one, but hey, that's awesome. Army of the Damned returns. Don't know what that was. Death Coil and Epidemic cast will reduce Army of the Dead cooldown, so more Army of the Dead. Magus, so they're getting a mage type of undead pet or whatever you want to call it. So a lot of synergy within the Unholy with their minions and how they call upon them and how they use minions into their burst. Love it. I love it. That synergy is what makes the spec feel wholesome and unique. Right? It's not, I'm just going to deal damage, summon this big ass, this big fat dude, and just deal mad damage. With Eon's rep grind mindset, it wouldn't surprise me. Me and Lone need to do more arena sessions. They are doing monks too. Monks can now and will be able to use two-hander and tanks. Oh shit, nice, bro. Sweet. Alright, so Demon Hunters. So Demon Hunters share just one resource, which is Fury. And in addition, Immolation Aura, originally Avenge's only ability, will now be available to both specs. Okay, so this kind of sounds confusing because both specs already have Immolation Aura. But it seems like they're now baseline for both specs, which is good. The only thing I don't like about that is just that Vengeance and Demon Hunters visually will look kind of the same, except for the spikes behind the Vengeance. But get you some. I know you like Demon Hunters and Hunters, but Demon Hunters are looking pretty awesome. Havoc Demon Hunters have a new passive, Unending Hatred, which expands their fury. Okay, makes sense. It makes them. That's what I was just wondering. Like, how are they gonna deal with fury if they both use the same resource? But there's the answer. The maximum capacity, letting them get hit an extra hit or two. Good. The Dark Slash talent has evolved into Essence Break, which deals chaos damage and significantly increases damage that both Chaos Strike and Blade Dance deal for a short duration. I remember the Dark Slash talent, but I didn't like it. I remember being able to use it, and I think it increases the damage done to the target when you use it. But I didn't think it was a fun ability, so I'll be reserved for that. I mean, it is called Essence Break. I don't know if there's more changes to it, but we'll see. Change Soul Cleave and their talents to build more variety outside of Spirit Golem. Awesome, cool. This includes getting Demonic as a talent option and Fell Devastation as a part of the... Holy crap! This makes sense to me because Havoc had Eye Beam, or has High Beam, and Vengeance had Fell Devastation. Two different abilities that act exactly the same. So this is awesome. I like it. I like it. So when you play a Demon Hunter, when you switch specs, it's not super alien. It's not super different. Abilities Demon can dish out more destruction than ever before, similar to Havoc Brother. Okay. Several popular talents. Shuffle others to different locations. Bulk Extraction rips out a soul fragment from up to 5 minutes. Bulk Extraction, which immediately rips out a soul fragment. Isn't there an ability already that takes a crap ton of soul fragments out and then you suck it up with another ability? This basically looks like the exact same thing. I remember that there's an ability where when you hit somebody with, you get all the soul fragments coming out and then you suck it all up with another ability. And this looks exactly like the same thing. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's look at Druids. General changes. Ferocious Bite has returned. Heart of the Wild. Sweet. The affinity talents associated with each specialization. Typhoon, Maim. Okay. So I guess the affinity not only does what it does currently, but it also gives you access to these. And the reason I think this happens because I think Typhoon is a talent. But it looks like Balance is gonna get it baseline. Mame is a stunt. Guarding is like a disorient, and Ursul's Vortex is just that spinning thing. Awesome, good. I like that. So there's gonna be a lot more synergy between Druid specs, and it's not gonna feel too different once you change specs, which is always a plus, especially since you have all those new buttons and abilities. I think this is helpful. It's helpful, very helpful, especially for Druids, because when you switch specs and stuff right now, there's a lot of different changes. All right, we already went through that. Mages. I think that Shadow Step DH get is gonna be hella busted, because they already have high mobility, right? So that one Covenant ability is gonna be nuts. Arcane Explosion, Fire Blast, Frost Bolt, and Mirror Image are once again available to all specialization. Fire Word and Fire Word return to bolster Mage's defenses. I can agree with that. I felt like, as a marksmanship hunter, I felt like Mages were completely nothing. They have little armor, and all we do is do physical damage. So it's very difficult to beat a marksmanship hunter as a mage out in the open. But once there is line of sight stuff, then it's a different story. Alter Time comes back. Yes. Following Mage specs, beautiful. Alter Time was such a great ability. I mean, I think I remember seeing this in when they first talked about Shadowlands, but as dope. I really like that. All mages get a new talent, Focus Magic. Ally a slight bonus to the spell crit. In addition, when the ally critically hits with a spell, the arcane mage receives the same boon for sure. Okay, cool. I guess just something to help out other teammates and yourself at the same time. Clear casting is back. Makes sense. I don't know why they took that out, being that you want to manage your mana as arcane. This makes sense. Now extends the damage, increasing properties beyond arcane blast and barriers to all spells. Great. Touch of the Magi moves from its current place. Well, I don't know where this is versus to, so. Oh, it's baseline. Good. Enlighten is a new talent that rewards mana management. That's what I was saying. Like, clear casting makes sense when you wanted to manage mana. So, pretty cool. I'm pretty sure there's going to be talents that help with clear casting. Whenever you get a proc of clear casting, you're able to dish out whatever. So that's going to be dope. Fire mages. Ignite. So they got a new mastery, which is basically how they've always played anyway, where their flame or their fire bounces off enemies and just keep burning. I think it came really strong in Cataclysm. That was like its thing. I really enjoyed it. Blast Wave does more damage and is increased slow duration. Okay. So Blast Wave is back. I remember that doing tons of damage, and the slow effect for it is very useful. Okay. So they'll be able to use more combustion. I don't know how I feel about that as a somebody versus a mage, but that's good for mages. I like that. The damage bonus for Pyroclasm grants is also being increased. Awesome. So more tuning stuff. Let's see about Frost, man. Frost is the one spec that I feel like needs a major rework. I feel like Fire has gotten some type of facelift. I feel like Arcane mages had a facelift before. Frost mages, they feel the same. You still you need your pet out. You still need to Frost Nova. Every stun that they had was awesome. They do need a facelift. With the addition of mirror images all the time, Frost mages will have some cool new abilities to weave into the gameplay. One of the most noticeable changes to Frost mages in Shadowlands is the update to Flurry's Winter's Chill debuff. Ah, so Winter's Chill, it behaves like, wasn't it their mastery or something? I remember that when the target is frozen, so if you had him in a Frost Nova or if you had him in that ice block, whatever that stun that they used to have, uh, it increased your damage, your your critical effect damage bonus, and your crit chance against it was increased. Design killing an enemy with less health than the monk. Each specialization also gains a unique benefit of dealing damage with touch of death. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that Windwalker is that when you use touch of death, you can still deal more damage to it, and touch of death, boom, just like how it works now. But I don't know about Beastmaster, you know. What is this stalwart? What does that even mean? Loyal, reliable. Oh Jesus. Bruce Star Max are prepared to do all they can to restore balance and gain. And can again choose between two one-handed weapons. All right, so Brewmasters get that. I was talking about Windwalker, so I think Windwalker might get it, just like Boo Bear said. Brewmaster monks also have a returning passive shuffle. A returning passive. That's all I was worried about, is that we get all the same abilities that we used to have. So we spent years with abilities that we didn't have to just get it back. Celestial Brew is a new ability that absorbs damage based on the imbibers. Imbibers? How do you even pronounce this word? Imbibers? Imbiber. Imbibes. Who drinks especially alcoholic beverages. Oh, because he just continues to suck on that. Clash, I remember Clash. That was good. I loved Clash when I played as, because I used to play as a Brew, and back in MOP, I played a Windwalker monk and a Brewmaster. And Clash was awesome. It was like a charge, but it also makes the target comes close to you. Pretty good. I like that. That's going to be huge in PvP. All Brewmaster monks will invoke Nuzao, the Black Ox, previously a talent to help. I guess they're getting a baseline. Interesting. All right, Brewmaster monk not only does touch of death instantly kill any creatures with less health than the monk, but it will also clear remaining stagger damage. So touch of death for Brewmaster is going to be an active mitigation ability. So cool, I like that. Brewmasters can imbue their brews with divine powers with a new talent, Celestial Flames. Drinking brews has a moderate chance to grant Celestial Flame, which slightly increases breath of fire. All right, so it's a little proc ability. I like procs, especially as marksmen. We literally have no proc abilities other than lock and load, and lock and load feels like trash. So one thing that I was really hoping for was some type of proc chance ability in Shadowlands for marksmanship, and we kind of gotten that with Flate Shot. So we'll see. Oh, Wisweaver, Yulon. Okay, so they basically, all three specs are gonna basically have some type of statue. Let's see, does he have it? So they each have something to bring out, and then the Touch of Death has something that plays in the gameplay. Healy spheres for the allies. Okay, so I guess. Oh, I remember the healing. Remember those little green balls that used to drop everywhere for their allies? Awesome. So now when you use Touch of Death, you get those little green balls that they used to pop, and you just walk over it and get healed. Simple shit that we used to have, now brought back. Like, why did they even take all those stuff away? Invoke Chi-Ji, the Red Crane, has been redesigned for Mist Monks. Mist Weaver. Strengthening their physical damage moderately. Okay. Alright. So they're going to be fist weaving, is what they used to call it, which is awesome. I like Mistweaver monks that not only just heal, but come in and deal a lot of damage. So this is going to be really helpful for those type of players. And then Windwalker, they can use perfect. I really like that. So all we were missing was Shaman. All Windwalker monks will be able to call upon a powerful ally. All right, just like I said, and now touch of death instantly kills any creature with less health than the Windwalker monk and will spawn chi spheres. So it's like a little buff. You use touch of death, it's still the same, and you'll be able to get the little white chi balls and gain the chi. That way you don't have to use your chi builders and just continue to using your chi consumers. This new passive talent has a moderate chance to make the next spinning crate kick free to use and deal a significant amount of extra damage to all its strikes. Not too exciting in my opinion. I mean, spinning crane kick, you just whirl around. I guess it's cool in AoE and stuff like that, but nothing too exciting in my opinion. Everything okay with the stream? Yeah, we good. Seems to be on the loop. Oh, my bad. I don't know what's going on. Everything seems normal on my end. Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. I don't know what's going on. My streaming computer is having like connection issues. I'm not sure why, but I will find out after the stream. All right, so paladins, blessing of sacrifice, hammer. Oh my God, sense undead, shield of the righteous, turn evil. Let me close this door real quick. Word of glory. Oh my God, like all these abilities that I've read before. Like we all had this. It's so frustrating, but exciting because at least we're getting it back. Holy power returns as a resource for all paladins. Oh my Jesus. Abilities such as Crusader Strike and Hammer of Wrath grant holy power. Well, this is the iteration. I'm going to be frank with you guys. This is the iteration of Paladins that was my favorite. And so much so that I did have a max level Ret Pally and a max level Holy Pally back in Cataclysm. Because this was my favorite iteration of Paladins. It just made the most sense, you know? So kudos to that. I'm glad they went back to the best that Paladins has ever been. I feel like right now, I don't necessarily think they have a great gameplay loop or play style. I just feel like you have wings, you're about to do a shit ton of damage. You don't have wings, you're running around, you're healing, making sure people are CC'd, etc. Your wings is up, you're killing. That to me is not too fun, especially since there's not much you can actually do. But this is pretty cool. Auras is back. Wow. Oh, let me read these names. Oh, I haven't read them in such a long time. Retribution Aura, Crusader, Devotion. Yeah, I remember Crusader. That's the one that makes you run faster. Awesome. Good. right, cool. So now Aura Mastery is actually going to have a benefit to it other than what it already was. Awesome. Really like that. Protection, what you guys get. Word of Glory free. Alright, so just a little bit more survivability. A little bit more of active mitigation. The darkest places within the Shadowlands inspire retribution. Wake of Ashes available to all retribution pilots instead of needing to be picked as a talent. Wake of Ashes was serious, right? Yeah, it was looping like someone was hating on the Wolfgang. Yeah. Wake of Ashes, man. Good. Baseline. Empyrean Power was a trait, now is a talent, giving Crusader Strike a moderate chance to make the next Divine Storm cost no holy power. Good. I like procs. Really, really good. Alright, let's look for Priest. Now, I know I've said this before, but just in case nobody knew this, I mained a Shadow Priest for 7 years. Up until Legion. When I found out that BFA was going to be the exact same iteration of Shadow Priest, I had to retire it because I was not having fun. I think the WoD iteration of Shadow Priest was by far the best that's ever existed. Not that I don't like Insanity for Priest, but that loop where you have to go in and out of it and only access to some abilities when you're in it and you don't have access to it when you're out, it's just too much. Like, I just wanted to cast my vampiric touches, make cool ass plays, swap health, and continue with that. Nonetheless, Insanity and Void Form and all that stuff is pretty neat. It's fun, especially in PvE. But me personally, I just fell out of love with it. When in the world is this Shadowlands Alpha coming out? Hopefully, so far some people have gotten invites that are, friends and influencers for Blizzard. I don't know. But I think it should be coming out. There's going to be waves, just like they did. So far, I've been invited to... when WoD was in beta, I got invited to the beta. When Legion was in beta, I got invited. And when BFA came out in beta, I also got invited as well. So hopefully I get invited, and I'll check my email after the stream. But there's going to be different waves, just like the last few times. Every few weeks, they will send out this massive invite to just players out there. And that's how they kept coming in with more and more players until the very end. Once it's like the last month or the last few weeks for beta, then they just give invitations for everybody. So just opt in. Even if you don't get the invite now, most likely later on you will. That way, at the very least, you will be able to play around with some of the classes and specs and see how it all plays out and help you choose what main you want. Obviously, we're already going to choose now, but it can definitely help you with choosing a main. All right. So with that being said about Shadow Priest, I'm still curious. I'm a little salty. I'm a little salty because I put in so much time on my Shadow Priest, and I just gave him up. So I'm a little salty, but let's see. Mind Blast, Mind Soothe, Power Infusion, Shadow Word Death, Shadow Word Pain will be available to all priests to use regardless of specialization. Additionally, Power Infusion can now be cast on allies. Oh my god. Power Infusion. Didn't they take Power Infusion off in Legion? I loved the Power Infusion. Shadow Word Death being a talent ticked me off so hard. Oh my god. It's so crazy, man. It keeps coming to my mind how they took all these abilities away just to give it back a couple of years later. It's like a slap in the face. Discipline priests are masters of balancing the forces of light and shadow and changing Shadowlands cover both ends of the spectrum. Okay. Light's Caress talent is an ability that most powerful disciplines of the light can use, enabling discipline priests to heal their allies by blessing of the power barrier and healing them again. Alright, and disciplines with their... Ooh. So this is pretty neat. Oh my god, new to discipline in Shadowlands, Mind Blast will provide a powerful burst of damage and atonement healing, along with an absorption shield for a significant mana cost. That's cool, man. One thing that I always felt about discipline priests in particular was that the balance between the light and dark wasn't enough. It was basically Shadow Mend, put a few dots, and then Penance. And even Penance didn't feel like it was. I guess if you had the little glyph or whatever to make it light and dark. But I always felt that a discipline, yeah, you can use some like Mind Blast and stuff like that, but it didn't feel like it was worth using, or it didn't feel like you were really something in between light and dark, or light and shadow. So this, I guess, enhances that and makes it feel more hybrid-like. All right. Hopefully they do a lot more of this, because this is awesome. I really like to see more of that. All right. Showing what they truly are. Discipline priests, they're between light and shadow. I think that happened in Legion, though. All right. Holy. Circle of Healing is now a baseline spell. Freeing them up to master a new talent in its stead. Prayer Circle. Prayer Circle empowers Circle of Healing, reducing the cast time of Prayer of Healing moderately for a short period of time. I wish they never said this, because we're getting Circle of Healing and they're making an entire talent just to make Circle of Healing reduced cast time. I think they can be a little bit more creative than that. But it's there. They're getting it. And they're getting Circle of Healing baseline. So, power to it. Let's continue. In the realms of death, Shadow Priests will learn how to ascend to the peak of their power with a new talent, Death and Madness. Each time a target dies after being slain with Shadow or Death, the Shadow Priest gains a substantial amount of insanity over a few seconds. Okay, cool. In addition, Shadow Word Death resets. Oh my god. Instantly ready to use under... Yes. Surrender to Madness returns with a wicked twist. What, you die again? On use, the Shadow Priest instantly gains a huge spike of insanity and casts Void Eruption on the target. Okay? Over a long duration. So wait, so you can use Surrender of Madness without having any type of insanity? Okay. This was already there. I remember when you went into Madness, you automatically did Void Eruption. So that's not new, unless I remember it incorrectly. Over a long duration, insanity generating abilities grant 100% more insanity. However, this part comes at a total price if the cast fails to slay their target during the... Oh, so that's good. Okay, I can be more acceptable to that. Why? Because just dying, it didn't feel good that if you killed a boss enemy, you still die, no matter what. So this is huge. It's huge because you can use this now in PvP. You can use this now in PvP. I mean, obviously, you don't want to use it just to use it. But if you know that you're going to kill the crap out of somebody, awesome. Now, the one thing I felt like Surrender to Madness should have been is baseline. I think Surrender to Madness was such it was such a talent that really made the whole spec like it completed it. But having it as a talent didn't show it off too much, and people didn't like dying and all that stuff. Though it did a lot of cool damage back in the day. I think Shadow Priests are going to be one of them, if not the strongest spec in the game. Bro, you can use, dude, Power Infusion on yourself or an ally. You have Shadow Word Death back baseline. I think they're going to be okay. We'll see how the Covenant abilities work. But one thing is for sure, they're going to be a lot more viable in PvP than they have been in Legion and in BFA. All right? One of my favorite YouTubers, Amboni. Now he's a Twitch streamer and a YouTuber. But he was one of my favorites, right? Because he played the Shadow Priest. But when you see how his videos used to be to when Insanity was introduced, it's the same way how I felt. It was just so horrendous. So I hope that he gets really excited for these changes. I know I would be if I still made the Shadow Priest. All right, we already went into rogues. I didn't read the assassination though. Assassination rogues continue their mastery of poisons with their return shiv. Okay. They also has access to ambush. Blindside has changed to give the assassin a chance to allow access to ambush even while out of stealth, with a higher chance on lower. Okay. So this is almost like that one. What was that? They used to have a talent, which was an ability that you get access to it as a proc, and then once the target is like at 20% health, you can use it over and over. So this is like an OP version of it, which is great. Toxic Blade. I remember Toxic Blade. Cool. Assassination, I guess, is going to stay kind of like the same, except you're going to be playing with ambushes more now, and your shiv is going to be huge. Especially with crippling poison. Ever resourceful and hungry for an edge, Outlaw Rogues have traded in the combo point requirement for Roll the Bones for a modifiable cooldown which can be manipulated to line up with their staggering finish moves. Okay? Have traded in the combo point requirement for Roll the Bones. Alright, so basically you don't have to, because that did feel bad using your combo points for Roll the Bones. Something that I don't mention a lot was when BFA first came out, I leveled up a rogue. All right? Because I wanted to play a rogue. I felt like Outlaw Rogues were really fun when it first came out. And I got him to 120. And then I realized how much I don't like Alliance. So I can see how combo points being stripped from using Roll the Bones is huge. Now the problem will be is how often can you use Roll the Bones? And will it just be a DPS cooldown? I would rather it be something where it's really, really RNG based, just like it is now. Something where you can't use it too often, but enough that it doesn't feel like a cooldown button. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, oh, I'm going to use Adrenaline Rush and just spam, right? It's not like I'm going to use Roll the Bones just to kill somebody or whatever. Hopefully it just gives that nice RNG still in it and impacts us enough to make it valuable and feel good while playing. I just don't want to see it as a 2-minute cooldown. That's my whole point. Frantic combat will reduce the cooldown of roll the bones through restless plays by spending combo points. Okay, but that's normal because that's how Outlaw always played. Whenever you use combo point spender, your abilities are reduced in timing or stuff like that. I think Adrenaline Rush was one of them and everything. Kidney Shot returns to Outlaw Toolkit with Between the Eyes, making their foes more susceptible to critical strikes instead of stunning them. All right. I did think that Between the Eyes was very unique and interesting for Outlaw, so I guess they're putting Kidney Shot back just so everybody can use it and be called a rogue. Roll of the Bones' main problem is that you're using your combo points, and a lot of times came out as RNG and didn't give you exactly, Boo Bear. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Because 5 combo points on your Eviscerate can mean, something is going to kill. So imagine rolling the Bones on a 5 combo points and it's just 1 buff. That really felt bad. Really felt bad. But on the other hand, it felt great when things came out and lined up perfectly. So I just, like I said, I want it to be where you can't use it all the time, but it's not like a couple minute cooldown as well. All right, but still gave you that RNG feel and you're still fishing. All right, Subtlety, Find Weakness. We always had Find Weakness. It just happened to become a talent now, or in BFA. Attacking from stealth and abilities bypass. That's how they always played. Struck by Eviscerate. Nothing new. Find Weakness can also make a large number of targets who need to set up for the new area. Oh, wait. Find Weakness can also mark a large number of targets when needed to set up for their new area of effect finisher, Shadow Vault, which also assaults target with their Find Weakness and additional shadow damage. Perfect. Good. Area effect finisher. What if Shadow Vault is kind of like that jumping one, like going to the air and come back down? I like that. Good. I like that. I like that change. That's pretty neat, pretty sweet. Shadowlands gains the power of Dark Shadow, previously a talent, to increase all damage active at the cost of less frequent dancing. Rupture returns as Subtlety's damage over time. I like that. Rupture. Not that I felt like there was anything wrong with the ones that they have now, but I didn't feel like Rupture was something you had to take away from Subtlety rogues. Instead of Nightblade. Nightblade, exactly. It's the same thing. Everything you can put on Nightblade, you can put on Rupture. All the buffs that you got from Nightblade, you can put it on Rupture. However, they still have access to a movement speed reduction and healing reduction through wound and crippling poisons. Alright. Alright. So good. So I guess rogues will mostly be the same except for poisons on every single one. How assassination is going to play. An outlaw rogue looks like Subtlety rogue, they look like they're going to play roughly exactly the same, except you have Find Weakness as a baseline passive now. All right, Shaman, we already went through enhancement, so let's look at Elemental. All right, so they're doing the same thing as enhancement, where the Maelstrom resource is not a thing anymore. They wanted to improve in Legion. We wanted to improve affordance around the use of Earthshock and Earthquake, but the addition of resource had the side effect of converting the spec into a one with a build spender abilities. I mean, hello, it is a build spender resource. Like what? How does that even make sense? Which comes with a certain built-in expectations and the payoff of its spenders. Yes, because you're building something up, and when you spend it, you want that gratification. When an elemental shaman presses Earthshock and it consumes most of the resource, the expectation is that this moment is the peak of the rotation and it should be a big payoff. Hello? If it takes all their resource, or most of it.
but we want to focus the rotation to be about managing your flame shock debuff on multiple targets to maximize the potential of lava burst through lava surge procs, which deal a lot of damage in BGs. Lightning Bolt and Kastakoli Earthshock are meant to be a flavorful but secondary part of the single target rotation. As such, we are returning to a design that relies on building stacks of fulmination to determine when to insert Earthshock into the rotation. Similarly, Chain Lightning and stacks of Seismic Thunder will serve to enable Earthquake. Echoing Shock is a new talent that blasts a target for significant damage and makes it so that the Shaman's next healing or damage dealing spell cast a second time shortly after without costing additional resources. Echoing Shock, Elemental Shaman had this ability from the get-go. Like, it says it's a new talent, but I want you guys to understand that Elemental Shamans were the first spec in the game to receive that one. It was like a I think it was in the talent tree or something, where they used an ability, and right after the ability, you get the same exact ability without any cost to resources, right? Then it got so popular, or it worked so well, that Blizzard made a whole secondary stack or territory stack, whatever that thing is called Multi-Strike. I don't know if you guys remember that. And Multi-Strike behaved exactly the same as that elemental ability or passive. So now we have this, which is a new talent because it blasts the target for significant damage and makes it so the Shaman's next healing or damage spell. They should have just had that Multi-Strike passive elemental period, because elemental really worked nice like that. We already went through enhancement. Let's go to restoration. Once restoration shamans step into the realm of ancestral spirits, they find new ways to tap into the elemental powers. Earth Shield cannot be used by all restoration shaman without needing to select it as a talent. I don't know why they even put that as a talent to begin with, but here we go. Surge of the Earth is a new talent that expands a few charges of Earth Shield to significantly heal the current Earth Shield target and several nearby allies. Again, they're taking something out of the talents and making a baseline to introduce something in the talent tree that buffs the new passive or the new baseline ability. I hope they make this a little bit more interesting. Something that two people are able to use Earth Shield. Whoever has Earth Shield has a boost in damage, or you have a chance for one of your Earth Shields to come off and smack somebody in the face. That's the type of stuff I'm looking for. This stuff right here is too basic. This game has been going for way too long to still be getting super basic stuff as talents. Leave all the basic stuff, like a boost to secondary stats or whatever may have you. So simple stuff that doesn't really affect your gameplay. That should be your traits. That should be your essences or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, like your minor traits. A whole talent should be to completely change your gameplay one way or another, or change your rotation in one way or another. All right? And being that we only have a few talents anyway, show you guys right now. Resto didn't get crap. So our talents, right? This is an addition to our playstyle. This right here, I don't think should have been there. I think this should have been a trait, because it's a basic thing. Aim shot has 100% chance to reduce the focus cast of your arcane shot. It's basic. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say? So, Master Marksman to me should have been, if you stand still for 3 seconds, your next aim shot is going to do a crap ton of damage. All right? This doesn't change your playstyle. It changes it a little bit. It changes it a little bit, but not enough. Serpent Sting, I don't think it should have been part of the Marksman toolkit, though it is helpful. And Murder of Crows could stay as a talent. I don't mind that being as a talent. Careful Aim, that should have been baseline. Volley, it's another basic talent that should have been replaced. That should have been put as the volley that we're getting in Shadowlands and stuff like that. It doesn't take much thought to have these change. You know what I'm saying? Explosive shot is nice. Trailblazer, it's okay because it's a huge increase to your movement speed, but in practice is not too helpful. All right, the only place that this is helpful right now that I've seen is when you're doing transmog runs, when you're doing mythic pluses that are not super high, when you're doing raids that are not like mythic, when you're already doing heroics for so many weeks and you know everything, Trailblazer can come in handy. I guess Camouflage could stay as a talent, but I wish Camouflage was a baseline ability for marksmanship hunters. Steady Focus, we used to have Steady Focus baseline back in the day. Very, very, it should be baked into Steady Shot. All it really does is make your Steady Shot cast faster. I mean, when you translate it into damage, it's a lot more damage. But even still, it's nothing that really, really changes your playstyle currently, because we have access to rapid fire and the reset of rapid fire, double tap rapid fire. So you're not really. There's some hunters out there that took Steady Shot out of their button stuff. They don't even use Steady Shot. And this is not, I'm not even joking. I'm not even exaggerating. There's people who don't even use Steady Shot. So this was a huge waste. Streamline is okay. It enhances rapid fire, but again, it is very basic. I wish it was something like lethal shots. All right? Or for a certain amount, for your next 2 or 3 rapid fires, have no cooldown, and you can just use it back to back to back. You know, something like that. Obviously, we know that Hunter's Mark should have been baseline. It's been baseline for many, many years. I don't know what they were thinking. Born to be Wild, way too basic. Like this should have been where if you use your turtle, you heal. When you use Aspect of the Cheetah, you run faster or it lasts longer. Not reduced by 20%. Who uses that? There are some places you can use it, but no. Binding Shot, I mean, I don't mind it being a talent, but Jesus. Lethal Shots, I actually enjoyed how this used to work before they changed it, but it's not so bad now. But before, for people who don't know, Lethal Shots used to be every steady shot increases your aim shot damage. Oh, no, I'm lying. Every steady shot gives you a stack where your aim shot, or it gives your steady shot a chance to make your aim shot into a critical strike. Your next aim shot or your next rapid fire into a critical strike. That was really, really fun. It used to be really fun, and if you want to see more action of that, my old videos used to have that. Like Mortal. I have a montage of doing BGs called Mortal back in the day. I used to use lethal shots. Calling the shots, I guess, is okay. Lock and load. Lock and load should proc off of your arcane shots, all right? And give your arcane shots a chance to trigger. This thing is garbage with the 5%. And piercing shot, while piercing shot sims pretty good, in practice it does not work. It just doesn't work. It doesn't crit. It always does the same amount of damage. The only plus to it is that is on a 30-second cooldown, and it ignores armor. But it doesn't do enough damage for you to be like, "Oh, that's so cool." But versatility does. Versatility does give it a nice oomph. I might play with it just to play with it. But piercing shot in its current form, horrible, horrible, horrible. They need to bring back power shot. They need to bring back the old. I think there was an old piercing shot, or something very similar to this. That's what needs to be brought back. Stuff like that. These abilities, Viper Sting, Scorpion Sting, and Spider Sting. I don't necessarily think there should be baseline, but we shouldn't. We only have 3 talents to choose for PvP. And they give us 3 stings. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. This should have been something like ammunitions back in the day, where you can choose what type of ammunition you want for your hunter. So you choose the talent. You choose this talent, and you have access to 3 different stings, but you can only use 1 sting at a time. Stuff like that. All right. Huge, in my opinion. Remember, we only have a set number of options to choose, like to actually have a talent, and only a number of talent choices. So they literally chose 3 slots for Viper Sting, Scorpion Sting, and Spider Sting. Unacceptable, in my opinion. I think that was a huge waste and a easy way out. All right. Everything else really helps. Dragon Scale Armor helps. Survival Texas helps. I really do like Spider Sting, my favorite. Viper Sting, my second favorite, and Scorpion Sting. But it should have just been 1 sting where you can just, you choose the sting, and then that's it. You can't choose anything else unless you are in a rest area or something like that. Ranger's Finesse should be where Streamline is. I don't think this should have been a PvP talent, because we don't cast aim shots as often as we do in PvE. Royal Sacrifice should just come with your pet. It used to just be a thing for just your pet, but now it's a talent. And Hunting Pack, complete waste. Though, I would choose Hunting Pack versus Born to Be Wild over here. I don't know. And completely take this off. Sniper Shot should stay as a PvP talent. There's no use for it, in my opinion, in PvE, because there's going to be times where you cannot exceed a certain amount of damage, especially when you're fighting an elite with millions of health. There's no way you're going to do 20% of the health. So I think in PvE, it doesn't matter. So it's good to stay as a PvP talent. All right. All right, cool. Cool. Restoration. Yeah, Boo Bear was like, there's trash. There's a tree that you can have the steady aim and combine it with the talent, gives you stats for aim shot. I tried MBG and aims hitting hard, but I don't know in arena. Yeah, that's what I used to, Boo Bear. I used to use that a lot. It was using the aim. It was called something. Steady aim. You use steady aim, and it gives you, you do like 5 stacks and increases your aim shot damage, and then your lethal shots will make your next aim shot and rapid fire crit. That's what it used to be. Thanks, Boo Bear, for clearing that up. All right, let's go for Warlocks. And by the way, I'm going to be releasing this as a clip, or like a shorter thing for people to come in and check for hunter stuff, because this is important. I think this stuff is important for hunter stuff, and I've been looking for hunter information, like specifics, and I haven't really seen any. It's all about the broad changes. So if anybody who's here now are interested in seeing the hunter changes, we talked about that in the beginning of the stream. So once we're over, feel free to check that out. We went in depth on how on reactions of the abilities, how the abilities are gonna play out. All right. Destrolocks didn't get crap either, because they're OP, bro. They're like standing turrets that don't die. Let's go to Warlocks. All Warlocks will be able to afflict their foes with Curse of Tongues, Curse of Recklessness, Curse of Weakness, and Curse of Doom, which makes 1000% sense. In addition, Warlocks can manipulate space with Demonic Circle. I don't know what that means. I'm just getting the sense that Demonic Circle is back as a baseline, which I don't know why it was put as a talent. It used to be so awesome just to have it as a baseline. Instead of having that gate thing. So that's cool. That's a big plus. Tongue-Tied is a new talent that empowers spells lobbed at targets suffering from Curse of Tongues, causing them to seal the victim with receiving healing effects and forcing them to succumb to all incoming damage for a moderate amount of time. Okay. All right. So it's basically a mortal wounds or whatever, mortal strike. Let's see what Affliction gets, because Affliction hasn't seen that much love lately. Unstable Affliction sacrifices a stacking effect to torture his victim longer and all without consuming a soul shard. Okay, so there is no spamming Unstable Affliction. Affliction Warlocks can exacerbate the malice, I don't know what that word is, they sow with Malefic Rapture. A new ability that deals damage to all enemies afflicted by their periodic spells. Increase for each periodic effect on target. Okay, cool. I like that. So basically, Unstable Affliction is going to behave something in the light of Curse of Doom, where it lasts a long time and it'll just stay on target. Alright. And then Malefic Rapture is going to be the new Unstable Affliction. New talents will be available for Affliction Warlocks to more effectively drain away the life of their victim, which is annoying. Solar Seeds will now embed 2 additional seeds into nearby enemies, which combined with the new Malefic Rupture ability can make for explosive results. So Malefic Rupture is going to be the new Unstable Affliction, because if I remember correctly, Unstable Affliction makes your dots tick faster or hit harder, depending on how many you have. And then Malefic Rupture does the same thing, plus it does that one, what's that one ability? Seed of Corruption, I think it was, that you shoot it to people and it blows up. Alright, so basically Affliction is the same. Nothing changed. Dark Pact will now scale with spell power to absorb more damage than ever before. Demonology Warlocks will also discover the Dark Fury talent has a new effect. In addition to the cooldown reduction it provides, it empowers Shadow Fury by increasing its area effect as the spell crashes down on the battlefield. Okay. I think Demonology needed some love. 100%. Death Pact makes sense because Death Pact is about using a pet or your demon to give you a shield. So it only makes sense that Demonology gets a nice big fat Dark Pact. Alright? Dark Fury talent, I don't think that's huge. I mean, it just makes your stun wider. What I want to see for Demonology is you yourself turning into this empowered demon. It doesn't have to be a metamorphosis or something, but you yourself can become this serious ass demon. Alright? You can summon all these demons, and then I'm not even going to say you turn into. Say you allow a very powerful demon to temporarily take control of your body. Because you're teleporting all these, not teleporting, but summoning all these demons from out the blue. Why not you yourself become this serious ass just warlock? You're just super empowered. That'll be super, super interesting and awesome. This right here, I don't want them to continue having the same playstyle as they do now, because it's all about casting pets, and then here and there you shoot out a bolt or whatever they have. So yeah. All right, Destruction. Fired Emblem is getting an upgrade. Shadowland is now generating 2 Soul Shard fragments for each additional enemy struck by. Damn, nothing for Warlocks. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. Hopefully they are tuned and still playable. Warlock, I mean, Destruction Warlock is fun. I don't think Affliction Warlock is fun. Not because they're just not fun, because it's not like there is a moment where, yeah, he's dead. I mean, they are, but there's so much setup time. I think they need that one ability on a huge cooldown, where if you put all the dots on one target, you can take it all, copy it, and put it on another target. I forgot what that was called. And I don't know if it's still there now. But that'll be awesome. And then if you copy it, you get to store it for a little while, at least. All right? Listen, Blizzard, if you want to hire me, let me know, man. Let me know. If you want to hire me for all this stuff, I'm here for you, Papa. All right. So we got Warriors. Let's see what the general changes are. Execute. Perfect. I don't know why they took it away from everybody. I mean, you already have Fury and Arms using it. Hamstring is back. Ignore Pain. Wow, Ignore Pain. Perfect for Arms and Fury. Yo, shield block. Okay, so when you use your shield, I guess you can use your shield again. Instead of actually, what it is now, defensive stance. When you use defensive stance, you got this foam-looking shield and your two-hander. This makes sense. Having you actually get a shield and give you more talents and more secondary stats and stamina and stuff like that. That felt good. And switching weapons, that felt good. Slam, Spell Reflection, Whirlwind are now available to all warriors to use regardless of their active specialization. I think Whirlwind, yeah, it's still baseline now. Right? I'm thinking of Cleave, I think. Yeah, I think is baseline now. Furthermore, Challenging Shout and Intervene are returning, and all warriors can use them to turn the tide of the battle. Perfect. Shadowing Throw is back. With a new twist, it will deal devastating damage against foes protected by the Absorption Shield. Perfect. That's going to be serious. Affliction is fun low for real. I play Affliction. My drain life hits for 60k tick and heals me for a 30k tick. But yes, is what you said. Takes more setup, harder. But that's the thing, right? You put all your stuff up and then you just drain life. I don't know. I guess I'll have to play with it. But I honestly, just from the sun, because I love seeing every spec played in arenas and raids just to see how they're doing. And I just feel like Affliction, I don't know. They're not as exciting is the word I'm looking for. They used to be exciting in WoD. All right, so Shattering Throw is back. Awesome. Lastly, Double Time and War Machine cannot be utilized by all specialization as a talent. All right, cool. Awesome. I like that. Me gusta. Arms. Arms is by far my favorite spec for warriors. The armies of Maldraxxus have inspired Arms warriors to return to several key martial tactics and abilities. Piercing Howl can now be used by Arms warriors, giving them another way to stop enemies in their attacks by dazing them and significantly reducing their movement speed for a short duration. Cool. Cleave. Talent has been redesigned. After striking 3 targets with Whirlwind, the warrior can use Cleave to strike at all enemies in front of the warrior, inflicting mastery deep wounds. There you go. The Deadly Calm talent has also been redesigned and will completely remove the rage cost for your next 4 abilities and includes a passive effect that increases the warrior's maximum rage by a moderate amount. There you go. Me gusta. Dreadnought now takes in the Seismic Wave Azurite trait, empowering Overpower to deal damage to enemies in a line. When Overpower hits 2 targets with sweeping strikes, Dreadnought causes 2 devastating seismic waves. flavor. That's that flavor. All right. Obviously, you want it because it deals more damage, but the flavor deals damage to enemies in a line. His 2 target sweeping strikes causes 2 devastating seismic waves. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's going to be gorgeous to look at and to see and to feel. It's not all about pressing a button and seeing numbers, guys. A lot has to do with visuals, sounds, stuff like that. So I'm glad they're doing that for arms. All right. Fury Warriors will find themselves at home in the Shadowlands and will be able to perform feats in battle that were previously unfathomable. Fervor of Battle is a new talent. Isn't there a talent called Fervor of Battle? Or some type of ability? Where the warriors lose themselves to their bloodthirst during Whirlwind and also slams their primary target and gains additional rage. Warriors will also be able to learn Onslaught, in which an enraged warrior brutally attacks an enemy for a large amount and damage generates some rage. Okay. Not too exciting here. Obviously, damage is damage. I'm not going to complain about the damage. But I don't know, nothing too exciting. At least for me. Frothing Berserker has been reimagined. Now, when the warrior reaches 100 rage, they gain haste and movement speed over a few seconds. Wrecking Ball returns as a talent. This can be problematic in PvP. Wrecking Ball returns as a talent, which gives the warrior a moderate chance for their next Whirlwind to deal a devastating amount of damage. Not too. I hate Whirlwind. I don't hate it, but I think Cleave was good enough. I like what Whirlwind does for Fury, which allows your other abilities to be used. That I like. But to continue buffing Whirlwind, I don't know. Fresh Meat now causes Bloodthirst to always enrage. And always enrage. And you the first time. What? Bloodthirst to always enrage you the first time you strike a target with Bloodthirst. Alright, nothing too exciting. Just more ways to enrage. I mean, you're still going to be a powerhouse. You're still doing phenomenal damage. So I can't complain about that. Protection Warriors is my second favorite, though is really up there with arms. I used to love Protection back in the day. In their shining armor, Protection Warriors seen as a stalwart defenders, but behind the shield stands a cold-blooded tactician. Good, I like the sounds of that. Protection Warriors can now tap into their brutal side with some reimagined talents. Best Serve Cold increases the damage of Revenge, with the damage bonus increasing significantly after a successful dodge or parry. Has made Revenge cost... No, wait. So basically they're just going to buff Revenge. When it's the same as now, where... Or maybe not. I don't know. It sounds almost the exact same thing. Menace has also been redesigned with this theme in mind. Powering intimidating shot to cause all enemies to cower in fear for a substantial amount of time, knocking back those that are not the primary target. Oh shit. Indomitable will passively increase the warrior's maximum health by a moderate amount, and spending rage while the ability is active will heal their wounds. Never Surrender increases Ignore Pain by either a moderate or significant amount based on missing health. This is the same thing. Not much changes. It looks like basically the same. You dodge or parry, you get access to Revenge. Now your Revenge does more damage, costs no rage. Never Surrender. Alright, so It wasn't a huge sweep of class changes overall, but with all the new additions for all these classes to have share abilities within each other, within the specs, that really helps out with gameplay, with how you press your buttons, your state of mind, what things that you can do, things that you're going to specialize. Things like that are going to change. So that's good to hear. We saw that Mastership is going to have lots of changes. It's just additions of abilities, but these abilities are game breaking. I wouldn't be surprised if Mastership gets nerfed or tuned in a way where all these abilities that keep the enemies away. Oh man, it's just beautiful. Binding shot. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. I love the changes for Mastership Hunters. So that's cool. I love it. Shattering Throw going to be OP. Pally's the rip. Yep. OP. Such good news to see where the hunters are going. Shamans. A little bit of extra utility and versatility when it comes to shadow priests. You see discipline having that hybrid feel, more strengthened. Warriors, I think arms is getting the best out of all three. Definitely, they needed it, especially having ignore pain. The demon hunters, they're basically gonna stay the same, except Havoc is gonna get Fury now. I thought that's what they used to begin with. Death Knight's definitely getting substantial changes, especially Unholy and Frost. And Frost being able to use a two-hander, great, love it. Warlock's not getting much changes, though I hope they look more into demonology and refine it, and not only have your pets deal damage, but give you some type of crazy thing. You know what I'm saying? What I don't like about demonology warlocks is that you're just standing there and all your spells are casted, and most of it is just to summon pets. And then you can, one of the casts is not necessarily dealing damage, but it increases their pet's damage. I don't know. I don't like that. I like that you can summon pets, but your pets should be buffed by the abilities that you yourself use. All right? Not that I'm going to cast something to make my empower my people. I don't know. I definitely want to see Affliction be improved upon and make them feel stronger and fun to play. Or not necessarily more fun, but just, it's not just ... Change it up a bit. Have a proc here. Have a chance for this to happen, etc., etc. Survival staying the same. Beastmaster is getting a few changes. Not much, just empowering your pets. Not like warlocks, but there will be talents that make your pet do bleeds and stuff like that. So that's dope. Pallies are getting their auras back, which is phenomenal. So all in all, definitely a plus. The Covenant abilities, they all are pretty unique and pretty awesome, though the switching part is going to be kind of iffy, if not probably the biggest concern for everybody. And we'll see. You know, I didn't mention mages and all that other stuff, but we'll see how everything goes. We're going to continue to keep an eye out on all these new updates that are coming out. Hopefully, I get the beta, not because I want to try this out, because I do, but to really give the feedback that that Blizzard needs. It is 4:30, but my voice is gone. So I'm just gonna chillax. I'm gonna end the stream. But guys, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys for hanging out. As always, Gray Fox. Yes, bring more RNG to an RNG based game already. Hey, Prox at least makes things surprising. It's not just the same mundane thing. But I hear you, Gray. Everybody, thanks for hanging out. Coconuts, my dude, my. Did I miss your comment before, dude? Welcome, Coconuts. But yeah, I'm gonna put this into a smaller, more edited thing to put it out there. So today was pretty insightful. Today was awesome. Really enjoyed myself and all the things that are coming. So with that being said, guys, it was awesome. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Oh, wait. Awkward. Much love, guys. Thanks for coming out. Stephen Powers, thanks for the love.